Hey, Empowered Badass Breeders. Let's talk about two traits in dogs that we see are passed on from their parents. One is being hand shy. What does that mean? That means when you go to reach for them, they duck their head. Now, most people think when they come across a dog that's hand shy that they've been what? That they've been hit. Most often not. You will start seeing this in your puppies at just 6 weeks old. When you go to reach for them and they kind of duck, pay attention to that. That will likely stay for the rest of their life. It doesn't mean they're afraid of people. It doesn't mean that they've been abused. It does mean that they do have a standard of how they're reached at, how they're petted, how they're managed. These are not dogs, by honoring them, I would not place in a home with a lot of kids where there's a lot of reaching and grabbing. I would not place in a therapy dog placement or even a service dog placement. These are great for quieter homes, more predictable homes, people that understand, hey, this dog requires proper appropriate handling. As we all know, you should reach for a dog anyway, especially a new dog, let them smell your hand from underneath, not reaching over anyway. So they just require that level of respect. I have found that I see that these same puppies do tend to lack in nerve strength as well. If you followed me or have taken my puppy evaluation course that I devised through years of tweaking, learning, tracking my dogs through therapy, service, family, companions, I have found that my puppies that were hand shy do lack in nerve strength, and that's the ability to manage and mitigate stacking stress. Okay, so if they're out on a walk and something startles them, if something startles them fairly quickly again and again, they don't do well handling stacked stress. They need to de-stress sooner than other dogs. Their nerve strength isn't as strong. But you'll see the hand shyedness in your lines, maybe in the mom, maybe in the dad, maybe in the grandma. So just watch for that. I will with extreme caution breed a potential parent that is hand shy, because it will get passed down to their puppies. Maybe just a few in their lifetime, but still doesn't mean they're a bad puppy. But if that's something we can avoid, I prefer to do that. The second thing is eye contact, also hereditary. So I love to find potential moms and dads that display good eye contact, because again, it's just their natural trait. But a lot of people tie eye contact to, does the dog love them? And that doesn't really have anything to do with it. So some dogs are just more predisposed to having natural eye contact. I have also seen, though, dogs that don't have great eye contact tend to be human submissive, so they're not as challenging to humans. The variable correction doesn't have to be as high. The amount of times you have to correct a dog doesn't have to be as high. You just give them a stern look and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I broke the rules, or I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do this, and we'll never do it again. Where other dogs are like, are you sure about that? I'm going to challenge you 16 more times, right? So I do also tend to see that dogs that don't have great eye contact can be human submissive. So there's 2 tips and tricks to look for in your program: eye contact, hand shyedness, and how that can translate to your puppies, and then how you can educate your families to honor those puppies. This question came in from Maria, and it's a great question. She asked, how do you handle people on the application or when you're vetting potential new clients when they say the puppy's going to be home alone all day while they are at work? Now, we all know this is a problem for several different reasons. A puppy can't hold their bladder, poop or pee, all day. It can be very lonely for a puppy to be home all day alone. And then here's the other thing, like I tell clients, I say, we can tackle with some solutions. I'll give you some options if this is something you still want to proceed with. Is then you're gone all day And then you're going to have to make that commitment, especially for the first year of their life. You can't be at work all day and then go out to dinner, or be at work all day and then go out to the movie. Like, you can't be gone literally 18 hours of the day and this puppy's sitting in this house alone. This is where a lot of behavior issues come from. And then when you are with them, they're so overstimulated and so excited, and they're just not able to practice and reinforce self-control and focus in a proper, healthy way. And so then we have these dogs that just struggle with that. First and foremost, though, I do tell people, if this is something they want to proceed with, number one, let's choose a really independent puppy. Let's choose a puppy that doesn't have this innate desire to constantly need reassurance and feedback from their human. So we need an independent puppy, number one. We want to honor them, and they'd just be like, it's fine, mom and dad ain't here all day because I can entertain myself. So we want that kind of puppy. Number two, I say you've got to have some kind of system or setup in place. So that could look a couple different ways. Having the puppy at a doggy door, and having the outside area fenced off, safe, contained, covered, and inside fenced off, safe and contained, and have toys and things to chew on, and a bed and all those things, so that they're pretty self-sufficient, right? Like, they've got their water, you could leave food depending if you want a free feed, and they can just toddle in and outside through the doggy door as they need throughout the day, so we continue good potty training habits, and they have a stimulating environment in which to be. The other thing I strongly suggest to people is you have somebody, a neighbor or pay a high school kid, somebody you can trust, to come over once a day and interact, engage, play, give them, rules, boundaries, limitations, of course, some mental and physical exercise, and then love and affection, and put them back down for a nap. The good thing is puppies do sleep a lot. So I will say, it's not a hard no for me if people are like, I work all day, but I want these things set in place so that the puppy will succeed and thrive, and the clients will be happy as well. So those are kind of my go-tos if they're going to leave the puppy home all day. And then, I do bring up the point, then again, you're going to have to make the sacrifices and the commitment that this puppy's not in a kennel during the day and then at night, or in its little indoor-outdoor area, and then you're out running around and putting them in a kennel, and then you come home for an hour and then they're back in a kennel for the night. Like, there has to be compromises. If not, maybe it's not the best time to get a puppy. Maybe wait until some of those things can be implemented to ensure we meet the needs of the puppy. And I just let people know, I'll be here when you're ready. So maybe when things kind of change a little bit in your life, but you can make that commitment for time, or paying someone to come in, or setting up this indoor-outdoor area for your puppy that's safe and enriching. Until that can happen, let's just hold off on getting a puppy. So what else do you tell people when they tell you that they're going to be gone all day working, when they're filling out an application to get one of your puppies? Let's brainstorm and share ideas for people, especially our new breeders, to have some kind of word bank based, templated even, so that you can just copy and paste it and send it on over to them. These are the kind of things that can be time sucks when we're repeating the same things to people. So if you already know, hey, this is what I tell people when they say we work all day, if you could just go and copy and paste it, make any little changes that apply directly to them, saves us a ton of time too. Littermate Syndrome. What is that? What does it mean? How does it apply to us? In two different ways. One, selling people that want to buy two puppies from the same litter. What are the pros and cons of that? Should you allow it? Should you not? Of course, ultimately, whatever you feel is best. You know the client, you've talked to the client. I'll tell you some of the things that are mandatory for me before I ever would sell two to the same family. The other consideration is I'm a huge buy my females as littermates. I usually buy two. I'll buy sisters and raise them together. So I've seen all of the different potential issues and ways to mitigate and manage. Littermate syndrome essentially is an unhealthy bond that will hinder in human connection, training, People can go as far as aggressiveness because they just get in this really tight, unhealthy pack and kind of turn on everybody else. And yeah, overall can be really difficult for people. So before I would sell, have I sold Littermates to people? Yes, I have. I've had extensive conversations and they pretty much go like this. Have you ever bought Littermates before? No? Okay, let's just do one. There's my extensive conversation. There's my words of wisdom. I know you're waiting for something big. Pretty much it. Have you done it before? Did you do it successfully? If it's a no, then no. Let's set you up for success. If they've had puppies, I've had clients who are like, yeah, I bought 2 puppies, but they were like 3-4 months apart, so we did experience some of those things. Or you'll have the clients that want to buy a puppy shortly after getting another, right? And so these are always kind of the questions I go through to help them make this decision. Are you happy with your current dog's behaviors? Are there any issues you're still working on? Things like separation anxiety, barking, excessive excitement, training, jumping, biting, lunging on the leash. If you're still working on any of those things, don't get a puppy yet. The best time to get a second puppy is when you're really happy with your established dog, so they can be a good influence on training your puppy. With 2 at the same time, I remind them, even if they've done it before and done it successfully, don't forget, do things separate, car rides separate, grooming separate, walking separate, training sessions separate, put them in separate kennels, put the kennels in different areas of the house. We have to teach these puppies that they can believe in their own abilities, they can be alone and it's okay, that they can accomplish things in the world without their littermate and do so well. So a lot of separation. So I tell people, are you willing to put in all that extra effort to do 2 walks instead of 1, to do 2 training sessions instead of 1, to do the groomer twice instead of just getting it done once? It's a lot of things like that. Even vet visits. I know it's really tempting to be like, well, you just take them all at the same time, right? To really help reduce the issues of Littermate syndrome, you've got to have them have their own separate identity. All right. Thanks for riding shotgun with me today. Bye.